dear students. Today we are going to look at deriving quadratic formula, and we are going to start from completing the square. So it is from the square method. Okay, so it is from completing the square method. So now let's see. The quadratic form is always, most of the time, is x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is the format. So now we need to remain with the prenumerals, or we say variables, on the left hand side. How do we do that? We subtract constant c. This c is a constant, as there's no any variable attached to it. So we subtract to the other side, both sides. So it means we take it to the other side. Subtract c this side, c the other side. So the new equation, will be x squared ax squared plus bx is equal to negative c. So because here it cancels up, as you can see. So now the next step that we do, we always say the leading coefficient should be 1 and positive. So now what do? We divide by a, divided by a on both sides in all terms there. So as we can have the balanced equation. Because whatever you do this time, you should do the other side. So here, what we get, it cancels because you divide by 1 and 1, which we say cancels, as we mathematicians we used to say that. And then we get x squared plus b over a x. That's the answer. And then you say, you leave something here. We leave the space because we are going to add. We are going to add something there with the is equal to negative c over a, and also we are going to add something here. So there is something to be added here, as we always do, so as we can get the perfect square. This sign should be perfect. It will be easy for us to solve. So we are solving x in terms of a, b, c. So now we need to know the value. We need to know the coefficient of x. The number that attached to x is ba. So how do we get the number to be added here? So we say ba divided by 2, which means it's like to say ba divided by 2 and you square is the same to say ba times half. Then we square. It's the same. So what is the answer now? If I multiply b times 1 is b, and it will be b squared, and 2 plus a, or a plus 2, is 2a, and then square, it will be 4a squared. So what to be added here is b squared over 4a squared, and here it says the same b squared over 4a squared. So this is what we got. This is how we got it, how we are going to complete the square. Now, perfect square always is in this form. X something here plus something, and then bracket square. Always is like that. So now, this is our perfect square. So now, what do we add here? We always add the coefficient of x divided by 2. That's what we do. And the coefficient of x divided by 2 is equal to, is positive. First of all, it is positive because the number is positive. So it will be b, it will be plus b over 2a. So this is a perfect square, because if I multiply this times itself, because the perfect square means this now times by itself, you are going to get to this one. So this is how we get perfect square. And this we have already said it is equal to c over a plus b square over 4a squared. So this is what we get up there. Okay? So if we get up there, we need to use our fraction addition techniques. So how do we add this? In order to add this, we need to have common denominator here. And in order to get the common denominator here, we need to think how we can do this fairly. So here is like to multiply by 1 over 1, you get 4a squared. And here is like to multiply by 4a over 4a. It's like 1. But we use this different language so as we can make this different denominators to have a common denominator. So here it's like to say 4a over 4a, which practically is the same thing, it's 1, times, in order not to confuse, I use parentheses, I use the brackets. So I say bracket c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. So remember, here the coefficient was 1, so it's like to say 1 times 1 over 1, like this. In order, here we take what to multiply by this, you're going to get 4a squared is 4a. So now, here, we are going to amount to 4a negative 4ac plus b squared over 4a square, because 4a times a is 4a square, divided by 4a squared. This is what we get. See now, it will rest here to get more room. More room. Okay, so now what we say, x squared, x plus, sorry, not x squared, x plus b over 2a to a square. Now we are here, as you can see, negative 4ac plus b squared over, now because we get common denominator, which is 4a squared. This is our common denominator. So now the following step that follows is to square root both sides, but always I like to show how this cancels off by power this, all this by half, which will be x plus b over 2a square. So now we have big brackets, half is equal, so whatever you do this side, you do the same side, okay? Whatever you do on this side, you should make sure that you do on the other side. So here on the other side will be negative 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. So you power half like that. And then now we all know that a power half is equal to plus or minus square root a. this is something that it should be in your mind when you go through with this with this way, with this method. So now we can see that everything have changed. What we get here, we say we cancel, we divide, because this is divided. When we put it properly, it is like this. So we divide it, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it cancels off. So it becomes x plus b over 2a brackets is equal to, now plus or minus, I prefer always to start with the positive, which is b squared is positive minus 4ac. Now you can see the sign of the quadratic formula is on its way for a squared. So do you see that? So now the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of a squared is a. So I rewrite this. I say x plus b over 2a is equal plus or minus. Now, because we have already got the square root, is 2b squared minus 4ac over, now we got 2a. Because as I said earlier, the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of a squared is a. So now I come to rewrite this by subtracting b over 2a, on both sides, b over 2a. So you cancel these ones. So on this side, I can take this off, get more room. You can see, get this off. Get more room here. And on this side, now we remain with x is equal to, now this is negative b over 2a plus or minus square root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. And therefore here, because we have already got the common denominator, so our common denominator here is 2a. So we say negative b plus or minus square root b, not square root, square b, as square root b squared 4ac divided by 2a. So now you can see this is our uniform. Until here, this is our uniform. Okay, so that's it.